Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Irresistible, and I am a manifestation and solar alignment coach. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the camera. This is the first time I'm going live, or the second time. My channel is geared towards helping you become your highest potential so that you can create and live the extraordinary life that is your birthright. Today's video, I'll be talking about how everything literally is within reach. You can have anything that you want, and I'll be talking about that in this video. If you are new here, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon in order to receive a notification anytime I upload a new video. So I thought I would do a live stream because I have not been very consistent with posting. I've been super busy. I'm getting a lot of clients, so I've really been super busy and not consistent as I usually am. And so I thought, let me try doing a live stream. This way I kind of schedule it and commit to showing up and just filming and posting without having to do editing. So this makes it a little bit more raw, and ultimately it's also an opportunity for you, for me to have a conversation with you and answer some questions if there are any questions that you may have. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer questions every time, but I will definitely be scheduling a live stream 1 week from now exactly in order to answer your questions. So it will absolutely be dedicated to answering your questions. Today, I'm going to be talking a bit, and then I will go into answering some questions. And I'm not going to interact that much in the meantime with you, though please do comment and say hi and all of that. But because I get distracted if I'm reading your comments and talking at the same time, so please forgive me. I will be talking for a little bit, about 8 to 10 minutes, and then I can answer your questions at the end of that. So today I want to talk about how literally single thing that you want is within reach. There is nothing out of reach in any shape or form. And oh, by the way, I forgot to say Eid Mubarak for everyone who is a Muslim. I didn't say that. I was getting very quick into the video. But Eid Mubarak to all of you who are Muslims around the world. So going back, everything is possible. There is nothing that is out of reach except what you assume is out of reach. Now, a lot of the time, I see from both my clients as well as in my own experience, what are some of the things that kind of stand in the way of you manifesting what you want. And a lot of the time, it revolves around your actual desire. So it's not so much about your limiting beliefs. It is, although, of course, self-concept plays a big role. Your beliefs about what you deserve, your beliefs around other people and circumstances in general play a big role. But a lot of the time, it is about your actual desire in and of itself. So I thought I would cover these because these are proving to be much more common than I thought they were. So working with many clients, I'm seeing this constantly comes up, and I thought, let me, do a video about that. It may be really helpful for people to see where they're holding themselves back in relation to manifesting what they want. So I did write some notes here. One of the things that I see is that people are actually not aligned with their desire, in the sense that they think it's not meant for me, or maybe it's not God's will. So a lot of the time there's religious ideas coming in where they think maybe God does not wish this for me, or it's not what God wants for me, or people are going to judge me for wanting this or having this, or it's not my destiny. So there's also this concept that it's not destined for me to have this. Another one, maybe it's wrong that I want this desire. There's judgment around that. And I have to tell you, I have been myself guilty of that in the past because of the conditioning that we go through as we're growing up, as we're going through life. Some of it is religious as well. So I actually, I never shared this with you, but the whole reason I came into law of assumption is because of a desire that I was not aligned with. Now, I've known about law of attraction for a long time. It's been 17 years or more since I forgot which year, but it's like many years ago. But I came to know about law of assumption about 2 to 3 years ago. And I literally had a desire that I was not aligned with. I was judging it. I thought it was wrong. I thought, like I really should not have this desire. And it got to me because at some point in time I knew that this desire was so heartfelt and so pure, and in my heart it felt pure. Like, why would I have a desire that I cannot have, right? So it did get me to think about a lot of things, and I went into a lot of questioning. And one of the things that started to pop up with me as in ideas in my head was, maybe there is something like parallel realities that would explain it. Because, in Abraham Hicks always spoke about, well, there's nothing you can't have. You can have anything that you want. And if this time space reality has the wherewithal to inspire a desire within you, it has the wherewithal to manifest it fully in full manifested form. So then, how is that possible? How can I have something without hurting other people in the process? So I really couldn't align with it. And then that's where I went searching for answers. And one of the things that came to me as an idea was the concept of parallel realities, but I never really got any confirmation. I would search through Abraham Hicks, all videos done by Abraham Hicks. I never found my answer. And then I came across Bashar, who's channeled by Daryl Anka. And then I started to learn more and more about parallel realities. And about 2 to 3 years ago, I had something which was like an existential crisis. They call it dark night of the soul. I went into this deep, you know, situation or circumstance where I was questioning everything. And this, because, that gave me even more questions came up for me that I was asking. And then I really got to understand what is meant by parallel realities. It's not like just a parallel reality that you can move towards. You're shifting realities in every moment. And through that, I actually wrote my book, and my book actually healed me. And I always used to hear Gabby Bernstein say, my books have healed me. My book actually healed me. It healed my, literally, that whole circumstance, and I came to learn about everything. And that desire not only led me into talking about parallel realities, it got me to do what I'm doing now. Like, it's really got me to align with my truth, with my authentic self, with teaching the stuff that I'm teaching. This is my gift. Like, I always talk about soul realignment. Soul realignment is something that I do for my clients. I help you discover your gifts. And my gift is divine wisdom, which is all about laws of the universe, about laws of manifestation and law of assumption. So I actually was able to align with my authentic self, teaching what I'm supposed to be teaching. So I'm eternally grateful for that. So sometimes you asking questions about your desires will allow you to receive the answers with time. So don't be hard on yourself if you are today not fully aligned with your desire. The answers will come to you. And I say this sometimes to clients and to subscribers who are commenting on my channel. I tell them, if you have a lot of questions, try to sometimes step back and allow the answers to come to you. Because even if I give you the answer, sometimes you're not going to be convinced. Sometimes you need to go on a path that will help align your mind with your heart, if that makes sense. So big part of the reason why sometimes a person doesn't manifest is that not being aligned with the desire. And oftentimes also, this is not just, I mean, this sometimes happens even when you're talking about money. You say, I want to manifest a lot of money. If you feel it's greedy to have a lot of money, you're not aligning with it, right? So you're saying I want it, but a part of you is judging that desire. So that's a huge reason why people sometimes do not manifest. And it's not about you not being able to, it's about you aligning with it. And sometimes you need to go through a small journey. It doesn't have to be a long journey, but a small journey of getting the answers around that, or a journey that helps you align your mind with your heart, essentially. The next thing is you keep changing your mind. I see this a lot. So, and also I have been guilty of that. You say, I want this, but then you change your mind. You say, I've changed my mind. I'm done. This has not manifested. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm letting this go. And then you let go for a few weeks, and then you come back, say, no, I still want this. So you keep changing your mind. You're not sticking with it. You keep saying, well, I didn't manifest it, so maybe there's something, I'm not meant to have it. You go back to the first thing, which is, what if it's not God's will? What if it's not meant to be? What if it's not my destiny? You go back and you question. So you keep changing your mind. When you persisting is about sticking with the desire, not wavering in that, and really just committing to that. And one of the people who comments on my channel frequently wrote to me, bless her, she wrote to me that, she wanted her desire. She was doing 5,000 affirmations a day. And I'm thinking, first of all, don't do 5,000 affirmations a day. That's excessive. That's not required, guys. You don't need to do that. Like, yes, do affirmations, but don't do 5,000 a day. So she was doing like 5,000 a day. And then at some point she gave up and then did 10,000 affirmations for another desire that is contradictory. And then she's like, well, now I want to go back to the first one. Why are you doing this? Like, stick with it. Stick with your desire. This back and forth is causing you to not manifest it. So you have to be loyal and faithful to your desire. Otherwise, you're not going to manifest it. The third thing is that sometimes people keep wondering, why haven't I manifested my desire? They keep saying, well, I must have a block. There must be something wrong with what I'm doing. Something is not right. Again, going back, it's not meant to be. You keep going into this question mode. Stop going into the question mode. Granted, sometimes if it's a pattern, you keep repeating the same thing again and again and again and again. Yes, maybe you need to check what assumptions you have, but stop questioning the process. Like, stick with it. You're not doing anything wrong. Many times clients get on the call with me and tell me, I am doing this, but then I manifested this. Why do you think? I said, there's no reason. Just persist. It's nothing. Just persist. I keep telling them, just persist. You're doing everything right. So going back and questioning, why did I manifest this? Or why did I manifest some cold, what you call it, good, cold, hot and cold behavior? Why did I manifest them to say this and then to retract, and so on and so forth? So there's a lot of asking, why? Why is this happening? Why am I doing this? Like, you have to let that go. You can't keep questioning, because when you question, guess what? You're going to keep manifesting situations that get you to question even more. So you have to trust that what you're doing is working. You persist with it, and you don't ask questions. You just persist with it. And don't keep saying, what, I must have a block. That's another one that I always get from clients. Maybe I have some kind of a block, or maybe my subconscious rejects my affirmations. Like, that's a common one I get. My subconscious mind must be rejecting my affirmations. Actually, your subconscious mind can't reject anything. It takes in anything that you feed it. The one that's rejecting is your conscious mind. So there are all kinds of excuses that people come up with on why they have not manifested. Or maybe I'm just not someone who can manifest. This concept of the time, don't question it. Like if I came in and told you today, guaranteed you're going to get what you want in August or September. We're now in March, in April. It's guaranteed you're getting it. What would you be doing in the meantime? Are you going to be questioning? Are you going to be asking, why didn't I manifest it yet? You may be disappointed it's going to happen in August or September, not today, but ultimately you're going to get it. So you're going to be okay. I'm not going to keep asking, why didn't I get it? I know I'm going to get it in August or September. Just be okay with it. And you stick with it then. And then meanwhile, maybe you'll go out and have some fun and go out with friends and enjoy your time. And maybe if it's you're manifesting money, you say, well, yeah, maybe now I can enjoy some of the free time I have, because once I am busy, I'm not going to have that free time. So you kind of make the best of where you are and you just enjoy your time meanwhile. So this is also another one that people are always asking, what am I thinking so that I've created this? What's going on in my mind? What's going on in my subconscious mind? I used to do that a lot. I'd say, well, why did I manifest that? No value. There is no value in analyzing every little situation. Zero value, I have to tell you. You just bring yourself back and you focus forward on what it is that you want. And that's the only thing you need to be focusing on. And I think there's the last one, which people often relating to the desire, because here we're talking about the ways you're focusing on why you haven't manifested. You can't see how you're going to get the desire in the way you want to receive it. Sometimes I've had this with a client last week. I was talking with her and I kept telling her, why do you think you keep manifesting the situation? I had to actually ask her that because she kept repeating that same pattern again and again. She says, I don't know. I'm doing everything you tell me. I'm focusing on everything that you tell me. I'm completely focused on what I want. I have no opposition. I'm doing everything you tell me. I don't know what it is. I told her, okay, no problem. Then just keep focusing on what you want. And in her scenario, she wants to be in a relationship with her SP. I told her, you keep affirming, I am, my SP came forward and asked me to be his girlfriend. Just say that. And suddenly she's like, yeah, but I don't know how that's going to work out. And told her, there's your answer. There's your answer. Because in her mind, she can't see how he's going to ask her to be his girlfriend and not get too attached to her, because she's someone who's super independent. And she, at the time, the guy was kind of dating different girls and she's comfortable with that. But now she wants his attention on her. And she's thinking, I don't see how he's going to be fully giving me that without like taking away from my time. Like he's going to want to spend all his time with me and I can't give him that. I told her, there's your answer. There is your answer. You're not aligned with your desire. So I told her, well, what part of what I just said, my SP reached out to me and asked me to be his girlfriend. What part of that did I say that he's going to be clingy and, talking to you day and night and day? Where did I say that? So she said, she laughed. She said, La, you're right. I didn't. But she, in her mind, she can't see how she's going to get what she wants in the way that she wants it. I want to always remind you, your higher mind knows everything that you want. And in her scenario, her higher mind knows that she wants this in this way, where they are together, but he's not too attached or too clingy or too needy or taking away from her independence or smothering her or whatever it is that's going on in her mind. She's not going to get that. He's not going to show up that way. So she really got it. Like she said, I see now why I haven't been manifesting it, because I was doubting that I will get it in the way that I want. So if you are trying to manifest something and you're struggling with getting it, I want you to think about some of these things. Are you thinking about how you're supposed, are you first of all questioning your desire? Are you saying maybe it's not meant to be, maybe it's bad that I want this desire, maybe God does not want this for me, maybe it's not God's will, maybe it's not my destiny? This, you see, anything you assume has to manifest. So if you assume that's the case, guess what? That's what's gonna manifest. You're gonna not manifest your desire. Then the second one is you keep changing your mind. You keep wavering around your desire. You keep going back and forth, sometimes saying I want it, sometimes saying I'm done, I don't want this anymore, I'm changing my mind. The third thing is you keep wondering why you haven't manifested. So there, it's taking a bit of time. You're questioning, you're saying why haven't I manifested? Maybe it's not maybe I have some sort of block. What's going on in my mind that I'm manifesting hot and cold behavior? And the final thing is you can't see how you can have it in the way you want. So again, that is another thing that may be coming up. So I'm gonna let you ask me your questions now. As I mentioned, in 1 week, I said it in the beginning, you probably, if you just joined, you didn't hear it. Next week, I'm going to be doing 1 week from now exactly a live Q&A. It's going to be purely me answering questions. I'm not going to be talking. I already am at 22 minutes. So I thought I'll just talk for 8 minutes. That didn't happen. But I will be answering your questions fully in that video, in that live stream. So now I'll take a bit of time to answer your questions. Yeah. So Les Goddess, how do we ignore time and fear of not manifesting? Uh, that's exactly it. What I was saying. First of all, remove the fear of not manifesting. Ultimately, you're gonna manifest. Ultimately, you're going to manifest. So if I were to tell you you're gonna manifest it in August or September, would you relax a bit? Even though it's a bit far away, you know you're gonna manifest it. So let go of that. The time is an illusion. I always say, you know what, time doesn't matter. You're never going to miss you're not gonna miss anything. You're ultimately, by the time you get your desire, I promise you, and I've seen that in my own life, if things have taken time, by the time I got them, I was really ready for them. Like I was rock solid. And I'm not saying that it takes you time to become rock solid. I always say your self-concept doesn't need fixing and all of that, but sometimes you need to heal certain things within you, and that's perfect. By the time you get it, it is exactly where you need to be. So let go of time. Not an Time is really just an illusion. So Evie's asking how to fall madly in love with yourself. Wow, that's an amazing question. Uh, by just saying, to be honest, by just affirming you can do it. There are two ways. I speak about that in the course, Magnetically You. There are two ways you can manifest loving yourself, because you can actually manifest loving yourself. The first one is through affirmations. You say, I am so lovable. I'm amazing. I am incredible. I'm just an amazing person. Like you fall in love with yourself. You can say, I love myself. I actually have 4 affirmations that I learned many years ago, about, I don't know, 16 years or 15 years ago. This therapist, or I think she was some sort of therapist, gave me these 4 affirmations. I love myself. I heal myself. I forgive myself. I accept myself. This was a game changer for me. I literally fell in love with myself. So through affirmations, you can do that. The other way is to disconnect from the opposing thoughts that are saying you are not lovable, and recognize that you are a spiritual being having a physical experience. You fall in love with your soul. Like there's no way you cannot be lovable. You wouldn't exist if you were not lovable. The mere fact that you exist, seeing the spiritual side of you, makes you fall in love with yourself. I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Anna. I'm so glad you're here. So, Mona, for someone like Neville who had full conviction of the law, why he was still doing SATs to manifest his desires? Because we're human. Ultimately, you have full conviction that this stuff works. You may have manifested it a million times before with a million different desires, but ultimately, being human, we have a duality based mind. So we have doubt. Doubt is part of the fear based mind, and then there's the love side. So being human, we have that. We have the duality based mind. So yes, we're going to have doubts. And the idea behind SATs is to impress the love based assumptions into our subconscious mind so that we're not going on autopilot straight into the negative. When you're going on autopilot, when you're not really being in control of your thoughts, you're going into love-based assumptions. So you're manifesting more aligned conscious thoughts, if that makes sense. So SATS helps you impress a new story into your subconscious mind. It's just the human aspect of us that, and Neville is human in the end. So we're going to have doubts. So yes, it's he too has absolute conviction, but your doubts come up with respect to your desire. So you may have manifested a million things, but then you have a new desire and suddenly you're in doubt. It's part of expansion, right? So we're going to have ourselves moving up and up and up and expanding. So if I affirm I will ace my exams even though I have not studied yet, so I feel it's a lie. So what to do? Yes, that's the thing with affirming. You don't need to believe your affirmations. So when you are affirming, you can say, I am going to ace the exam, I'm going to pass. And in your mind right now, consciously, you don't believe it. But guess what? Your subconscious mind has no ability to reject this because your subconscious mind doesn't know what's real or what's not real. So as you affirm, it's going, that positive statement is going into your subconscious mind. If you control your conscious mind, that's the part you need to control, and you not let it go say that's a lie. You just control it, trust in the process. That affirmation is going to impress into your subconscious mind, and then it has to manifest. Your subconscious mind doesn't know that this is not the case, doesn't know that you didn't study, it doesn't care. It has no cognitive ability to say, well, yes, I have studied or have. It's not going to tell you haven't studied. It doesn't know what's going on. It has no ability to perceive the 3D. It just takes in what you feed it. So when you keep saying, I have aced my exam, I have passed my exam, I have done really well on my exam, and you don't contradict it with any opposing thoughts, it's going to manifest. You don't need to believe it. Thank you, Evie. Thank you so much. So Les says, when I'm doing affirmations, I feel strong electricity through my body, just like doing during Reiki session. Is this a good sign? It's absolutely an excellent sign. It shows you that you're shifting. You're in law of attraction. They call it changing your frequency. You're raising your vibration, essentially. In law of assumption, it means your consciousness has shifted. So it's a very positive thing. Absolutely, very good sign that you are shifting. So Anna's asking, since working on my self-concept, being financially free, abundant, and secure, sometimes I get overwhelmed with sadness and start to cry. But logically, I don't know why this is happening. I think maybe you feel sad that you did not feel deserving of that before. Maybe that's what it is. It's some kind of purge. Be okay with it. Let it go. Cry. There's also an element of when we realize how deserving we are, we do get emotional because that's not been our story, you know? So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let it go, express yourself, let your feelings out, let your, sadness out and cry and express it. And it's all good. There's nothing to judge here at all. Um, how to give a message to the subconscious. You can do it through affirmations and you can do it through visualization. So anything repeated has to be impressed in your subconscious mind. Also, anything you visualize also goes into your subconscious mind because your subconscious mind does not know what's real and what's not real. So when you imagine a scene and there's feelings involved and you're really enjoying the scene, your subconscious mind is taking that in the same exact way it's taking in your actual reality, the experience of your actual reality. So that's how you feed your subconscious mind. I talk about that in a video. It's called How to Trick Your Subconscious Mind into Believing your uh, that you have your desire. I forgot the exact name, but you can find that on my channel. It will give you a lot of information. So, Mona, any tips when you deal with big circumstances? Uh, Listen, don't give any circumstances more meaning than they deserve. Circumstances are just circumstances. Here, are you saying it's a negative circumstance? I assume that's what you're saying. You kind of, as much as possible, need to ignore and not react. Now, you may react emotionally, just don't react with your thoughts. Don't mentally spiral and say, this stuff doesn't work. I never get what I want. This is really hard. Like, don't vent in that way. Don't let your thoughts spiral. I've been in a situation where I've, cried and let things out and I felt much better and I've manifested right after that. So there's sometimes a little bit of pent up energy or pent up emotions that need to be released, and it works perfectly to let those out. Just don't let your thoughts react, if that makes sense. How much time it takes to feed a message to your subconscious mind? That's the thing. It's hard to answer that question because it all depends on how much you're contradicting it. You can affirm and affirm and affirm for 3 days and manifest if you don't contradict it. It can be that fast. You can also affirm and affirm and affirm for 3 months, and if you're contradicting it daily, you're not going to manifest. So it's so much more about how much you're opposing than how much you are feeding, if that makes sense. And I spoke about this last week. I said sometimes when you just don't oppose something, you will see the sign of it right away. When a thought comes up and you release it, you say, I'm not going to engage with it. You see the manifestation, the positive manifestation right away. So it's not so much time. It doesn't take time. It's just how much you're opposing it. How can we heal our loved one who is depressed due to OCD? What can I do for him? You can absolutely affirm for someone else. In law of attraction, we used to not think that's not possible. You only create for yourself. With law of assumption, Neville spoke about this a lot. He would imagine his friend who is unemployed being fully employed and thriving, and he would manifest that. He would manifest his friend getting a job and having a lot of money. You can manifest for someone else. Envision them thriving, envision them being super healthy mentally. Imagine them living their best life. So you just, or affirm for them. So you can envision them or affirm they are living their best life. They are mentally very healthy and stable. They are thriving. So you can just affirm for them. So, Mona, do you think thought transmission is immediate or is there some time lag? Her image pops up in my mind very often. Does it mean she thinks of me at that moment too? It could very well be that she's thinking of you in that moment too. Thought transmission is immediate. Thought, you're there. Like when you are sending thoughts towards someone, they're receiving it. Now, does that thought stay? I spoke about that in one of my videos. The reason the thoughts don't stay is then because you're shifting back into, well, why aren't they contacting me? Where did they go? So you're automatically shifting back and then they're forgetting, right? So you're activating that within them the minute you're sending them thoughts, and then it's stopping when you're going back and opposing it, right? So you need to keep that going as well. I explained in one of my videos that thought transmission is immediate but is not permanent when you don't have the self concept where you're feeling lovable. So if you're saying my SP loves me, you don't feel lovable, they're not, it's going to be momentary. They're going to think of you and say, oh, I miss her, where has she, blah blah, and then they forget it, right? So you want to make it permanent by working on your self concept. But absolutely, it could be very well be that when you're thinking of her, she's thinking of you as well. So you're welcome, Anna. When opposite circumstances keep happening, are you saying don't ever question it, just ignore and keep loyal to your end? Yes. Or does questioning it ever help? No. The thing I want to tell you, this questioning of what's going on in my subcon, or what's assumptions do I have about myself, about the other person, or about circumstances in general, this is something you do one time. It's not something you're constantly doing, because then you're constantly in question. And when you're in question, guess what? You're going to keep manifesting circumstances that are matching your question. So you're going to stay in questioning mode. So don't keep questioning. If you've manifested something undesirable, irrelevant, just focus on your end. Just say, I'm not going to focus on this. I'm not going to question it. I know what I want. I'm going to persist. This is irrelevant. Circumstances do not matter. And I did a video about that yesterday or the day before. I said, circumstances don't matter when you don't have your desire, when you're starting out, when you manifest your desire at 50%, when you manifest your desire at 70%, when you manifest your desire at 100%, and then you see some wavering. In all cases, circumstances do not matter. It doesn't matter where you are in the manifesting journey. Don't ever forget that, right? And don't go into questioning, well, why did they disappear? Why didn't they continue the conversation? Irrelevant. I'm going to stick to my end. I am married to my SP, or that money is in my bank account, or I am super healthy, and you do not waver in any shape or form. You keep persisting, and that old story has to disappear. Thank you, Mona. Although my manifestation has not come to fruition yet, you have helped me a lot through tough times. Thank you. Thank you. You're most welcome. Right now, I'm saying I don't need evidence to know it's going to happen. Exactly. It's going to happen regardless. I can't imagine proper, so I can only affirm his mind is healthy. Yes, you can say he is thriving, he's living his best life, because someone who has OCD can't be living their best life, right? So you say he is living his best life, he is thriving, he is mentally healthy. One coach on Create Your Future, yeah, I know them, said something very awkward, that affirming too much is canceling the manifestation. I'm surprised they would say that, because actually I very much align with their message. How does that make sense? When is too much? You can't measure affirming, right? Okay, so I said earlier in the video, when you're affirming 5,000 times a day, like, to be honest, I've done 350 affirmations a day. That's been the most I've done. And I didn't say them, I listened to them. I was tired. I'm telling you, like, I try things. When I teach, I try things. So if someone's doing 5,000, I just can't imagine it. Yeah, sometimes at some point affirming too much, I don't believe that it will be canceling your manifestation. That's not true. I don't believe that, but it's just exhausting. Like, you can't possibly do that. I don't know. In my experience, now, if someone resonates with doing it, by all means do it. I just think you would be better off just controlling your opposing thoughts rather than affirm 5,000 times and then have 300 or 3,000 opposing thoughts in that day. How about if you say, I don't know, like 100 affirmations and control your opposing thoughts? Have 2 or 3 rather than whatever 3,000. Does that make sense? I think that it's more about the opposing thoughts than about the number of affirmations that you say. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. We're at 40 minutes. Any more questions? This is enjoyable. Like I said, 1 week from now, I will schedule, from today, I will schedule a live stream for asking live Q&A. And it will be probably shorter for anyone who wants to watch it. Obviously, it went into 40 minutes. That's a long time. Thank you all for being here. I really love you all. Les Goddess. Yeah, that's $1 million question. Do you believe in twin flames? Yes. To be honest, I do believe in twin flames, but I don't believe in all the stories around twin flames. So don't buy into all of that. Your twin flame is someone who puts you on your path of being that's my belief. Maybe it's not everyone's belief. I'm sharing with you what I believe. Twin flames are souls here you have met, or you have agreed to have in your physical reality, who will help you align with your soul's purpose. That's what I think twin flames are. And I do believe in them. You're most welcome. Yes, her rejection led me to law of assumption. Yes. And more than that, it may even be, yes, to law of assumption and also towards your divine purpose. So yeah, it could also be leading you to your divine purpose, to doing what you're meant to be doing, to be in your authentic truth, speaking your authentic truth. Yes. So I truly believe that. Okay, lovely chatting with everyone. By the way, if any questions come through and I don't answer them, it means I didn't see them. Because sometimes the question comes in after I log out. It happened last time. So I will definitely answer after I close off, or it won't show actually in the live chat after I close off. Love you guys. Love you too. All right. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.